Go ahead, gentlemen.
Go ahead, gentlemen, what?
Share some of your scouting experiences, what you remember.
Well, we remember always going to our scout meetings and at the First Presbyterian Church and enjoying the camaraderie. We were scouts, 3 brothers, Richard, Bill, Tom, together. Our mother would drive us in from Little River Nursery, which was the State Forest Nursery our father, Bill Bland, was the superintendent of, out towards Nahana, and we just enjoyed getting into town. Even though we went to Goldsboro High School and schools in Goldsboro, getting into town was very, very special.
Well, we went to St. Stephen's Episcopal Church, and so when Mom and I, when Mother, got us in the scout troop, it had to be in town, and it was just a wonderful trip. And then C.H. Wesson came back out of retirement from Georgia, and his old scouts from the 40s built him a house out at Camp Tuscarora, a retirement home, which was a wonderful 2-story retirement home. And the boys, his boys, which were us scouts and his scouts from the 40s, and we truly his boys. He was a bachelor, and it was just wonderful to be able to get out and learn from him in scouting. So, but as Tom said, our younger brother Richard at that point he was called Dick, and so it was quite a undertaking for Mom and Dad to keep us active. We all got to be Eagle Scouts,
all 3.
And Richard missed out on being a member of the Order of the Arrow for some reason, but he went on to, again, he's not here, but he's up in Richmond, Virginia. Richard went on to become an Explorer Scout after Tom and I graduated from high school in 1966. So he went on and did things that we didn't do.
But as far as thoroughly enjoyed it. And he went on canoe trips, even with Richard Wynn, who was here before, and had great experiences. The scouting just meant a lot to us as we grew up throughout all our lives in keeping the tenets or the scout law and things of that nature.
Once you learn the scout law, you can't. And the scout oath, you know it forever. It's like this Pledge of Allegiance. And so every once in a while I would start spouting it off, and people, oh my goodness, it's hilarious that they have no clue that we could possibly know the scout law from beginning to end. I don't know what Richard Wynn said just prior to us coming up, but we used to pick on each other a lot. And I don't know what he told you. He was mad at Tom once out on a scout camping trip. Thought I was Tom. He slugged me. I mean, square on the jaw.
Didn't hurt me at all.
Thinking I was Tom. And I remember when Richard and Clinton Jackson got into a fight, and I had to break it up. There weren't many fights in our scout troop, but occasionally there were some arguments. And Richard and Clinton Jackson. Clinton had polio, so his upper body strength was phenomenal. He had no use of his legs, and so it was one of those things where you tried to break it up. You had to watch out. Then the other thing, Richard was very afraid of snakes, and so one of the first scout camping trips out to Camp Tuscarora,
the old scout Camp Tuscarora,
they've got a new one now, but they had. We were walking up to a path, and I saw a snake, and I passed over the snake, and Richard walked up on the snake and jumps up and runs back down to the campsite and down by the lake, runs into either that same snake or another snake, and gets up to the first aid hut, and his heart's racing like he's going to have a heart attack, and I've never heard the end of that one. Yeah.
Good. Well, thank you, gentlemen.
Are you with the News Argus?
No, actually, I am the